The Moony Shapiro Songbook set out to mock the musical anthologies that were celebrating everybody from Sondheim to Noel Coward to Fats Waller that were proliferating in the late 70s. But Moony Shapiro was different from all of these because he was a fictitious composer. He was an amalgam of virtually every songwriter, great and not so great, of the 20th century.
And 5 performers played 100 characters, telling the story of how Moony's career spanned over 50 years and every genre from the follies of the Depression to Motown. Moony was on the periphery of every political upheaval and was there for every event of the 20th century.
The cast included Judy Kaye, Annie McGreevy, Gary Beach, a 28-year-old actor named Jeff Goldblum, and in the title role, Tim Jerome. The songwriters, Julian Moore and Monty Norman, had a hit with the show in London, and they were proud of the fact that they hadn't written a parody. They said, "We haven't taken an existing song and turned it upside down. Instead, we've written as far as we could, as if we were actually writing in the period." There they are.
Like that. Every night of the show, the writers would hear angry theater patrons in the bathroom insisting that Moony must be real because they've heard one or another of the songs before.
That's true. At one point in the show, Hal Prince could be heard over the theater PA, recalling how Moony had asked him to direct Red, White, and Black for the stage, but Prince had to decline because he was too busy with West Side Story.
Yeah. The show with no star names and a bad review from the Times, criticizing the direction and design of the show as drab, closed on opening night. I know. It sounded so cool. It was the last show at the Morosco Theater before it was demolished, along with several other theaters, to make way for the Marriott Marquis Hotel.
Yeah. Also, we should note at this point, since we're talking about the Morosco, that if anyone walked through that hallway downstairs, which you all probably did unless you beamed yourself into the building, that map that's in the front hallway is from a long time ago and has a bunch of old theaters on it. So if you check it out, you can see like the Mark Hellinger and all the like nerdy old theaters that we always talk about at the concert.
Amazing. And here's some more production.
So cool.
Photos.
Jeff Goldblum. Yeah. There is Tim Jerome as Moony Shapiro. Awesome. Born Michael Moony in Liverpool, England, 1908, love child of an Irish tweenie, our title character was raised at St. Cecilia's Orphanage, where he played honky-tonk harmonium when the nuns were out of earshot. That's how the show started off. At 16, in trouble with the Mother Superior over a girl, he made a dash for the docks and stowed away on a boat to New York. As we all did.
That's how I got here. Adopted by a Lower East Side music teacher, Abraham Shapiro, he changed his name to Moony Shapiro and began his songwriting career with East River Rhapsody, which expressed the immigrant's Moony's affection for his new hometown.
So that was how the show began, and it only got crazier from there. It's an awesome show. As the writer said, Songbook is our tribute to this amazing songwriter and human being. To us, he is as real as Sondheim, Porter, Coward, and Waller. Now here to speak about his experience with the original Broadway production of the show and sing from the show is Moony Shapiro himself, Tim Jerome.
I've had a long and indistinguished career in the theater. And I think everybody in the theater ought to have one show in which you're billed as the star over the title, or be the title character of the show. That was my condition, Moody. And I think everybody ought to have a show that closes opening night. Because that's a lot of fun. It was funny. It was funny because the reviewers came a few days before the show opened. As you can well imagine, the reviews came out that night, and we had finally, after 2 weeks of previews, with no out-of-town run, had finally kind of come to the point where we knew how to play the show. It was a very fast-paced comedy, and we were all getting the sense of what the audience was going for and how to shape the scenes and stuff like that. By opening night, we were in pretty good shape. And Stuart Ostrow, the producer, during intermission on opening night, came backstage, and we were all sort of hanging out in the stairwell, and he was dancing around. He was dancing around like, we have a hit here. We have a big hit. And later that night, he had to go 180 degrees and close the show. It was particularly sad because while the marquee was still up, we watched as the wrecking balls knocked the theater down. along with 2 other theaters, to make way for the Marriott Marquis, in which I actually played in the opening show, which was Me and My Girl. There was one other story, only one other story that actually the kids over here, these young great kids, you want to hear that?
Tell it.
This song that I'm about to sing for you was staged in a slightly different way. And during the song, I actually had to make a pirouette. On opening night, I was wearing glasses as I am now, and as I pirouetted, my glasses shot off my face, headed towards the audience, and I reached out and I got them. I mean, that's it. Of course, the show closed opening night. Couldn't keep that bit in. This show is an interesting show because it's about a creative person trying to stay on the wave, trying to catch the wave, to change, to turn, to adjust his art to being commercial, to make a living. It's that interface between art and commerce. And in a way, that's a very intellectual approach to a show that was, I think, fairly entertaining and funny. This number that I'm about to do for you comes, as you might expect, at the end of the show, or towards the end of the show, and reflects on the number of periods that Moony had written material for. And I guess that's enough of a story. Now I'll do this song for you. Incidentally, this is the London version. I think it's a little bit more interesting as a standalone song, so we did the London version instead of the American version. Things were changed for the American version. Golden oldie, you're meant to last, but you've been spinning around too fast. What's left for you now? What can you prove? There's one thing for certain, you're no longer in the groove. A disc and a discotheque, that is correct, never hits a record deck. You're pre-electric. Golden oldie, old and moldy. Then, in the middle of panicking, comes a magical sound. Comes a rhythm and melody, music swinging around. An incredible, bettable beauty's there in your bed. Then comes a rude awakening, cause it's all in your head. Golden oldie, you're on the shelf. Nobody plays you except yourself. Your friend, the doctor, can't stop your cough. You got a prostate that you better mention off. Your family are wearing black. And will they kiss you? Will they? Hell. And will they miss you? I don't think so. Yes, no reissue, that's for sure. Golden old